Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started momentarily here. Hope you are doing great. And we should be live on Facebook. What's up everybody? Again, hope you're doing great. Welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. We're going to talk about some swing ideas for next week, some amazing ideas. But before we do, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. So make sure to agree to that before proceeding with today's video. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is also in the description of the video below. Let's get started. Let's talk about the market, which is very, very interesting right now. And let's talk about some of those swing ideas that I told you about. If you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps support our channel. And if you have any questions for us, reach out by emailing info@t3live.com. info@t3live.com. So the market, very, very easy this time. Oh, that's Bitcoin. All right, here's the market. So here's the market. It's very, very simple. But if you get this concept that I'm about to share with you, I assure you, you will be able to use the same concept in your day trading, swing trading, every type of trading that you can think of. Okay, so we have a sell setup. We had a sell setup on the weekly chart. See that run up? A sell setup means you have a downtrend and a counter rally back up. We like it to be at the 20 MA, but as you can see, the market had a tendency to break the 20. Last time also it broke the 20 by a little bit. This time it broke the 20 by a little bit more. Most of the sell setups that we like to get need to be at the declining 20. In this case it was above and it was at the trend line. So we had a sell setup on the weekly chart right here. Once you take out the prior bar's low, the last bar's low on the weekly, you get a sell setup. But you always want to check the one time frame smaller. Since we're dealing with swing trading, weekly and then daily in this case. If we're talking day trading, let's say the 15-minute chart, then you check the 10 or the 5-minute chart. And if the smaller time frame is in an uptrend, you can't take the sell setup. Let's say the sell setup triggered here. Can't do it because it was still, the daily was still in an uptrend. But so here's the beautiful thing that happened. The buy setup triggered long. See it? The buy setup triggered long and then it failed, confirming the weekly sell setup. So now it's safe to short because the daily chart has a lower high. You need to have one lower high, one lower low before you can start shorting. And then once we broke under the lows here, we already have one lower low in one fell scoop because this is a buy setup failure. This is what's known as a buy setup failure. So the market now is back to all out bearish. No two ways about it. It's all out bearish. This was a good shorting opportunity yesterday. Bitcoin is a good shorting opportunity. It triggered already yesterday, but it's not late in my opinion. There's only one firm that I know that can allow you to short it. Is called Kraken.com, but not endorsing or recommending or any of that stuff. Okay, or BITO, BITO is the fund that I'm in short. At any rate, back to the market. So now we have a downtrend on the daily and a very nice weekly sell setup. So the bias is undeniably bearish. Where's the next target? Well, the prior lows or so, probably 280. Is there some support along the way? Yes, there is a little bit of support there, but probably we will retest the prior base, the lows. Let's take a look at the weekly one more time. Yeah, I think we'll end up retesting the prior lows, and who knows how long that will take, and who knows how long if we will also break the prior lows or not. But the bias now is back to completely bearish for me. Okay, got it? So I hope that makes sense. So again, if you're looking at a larger time frame and it has a sell setup, check the smaller time frames to make sure that you don't have an uptrend. If you have an uptrend, wait for a buy setup failure. If we were talking about a bullish scenario, and you're looking at a buy setup on the weekly chart, make sure the daily is in an uptrend. If the daily is still in a downtrend, with lower highs, lower lows, let's pretend this is the daily, and we're talking about a weekly buy setup, then wait for the daily sell setup to fail. Then you can look to play long. Does that make sense? So I hope it does. It's an amazing concept. This is called multiple time frame alignment, waiting for the multiple time frames to be in alignment before you strike, basically. And I use it in every single day in my day trading, almost every single day. This was actually the main topic of our last coaching session in the strategic day trader chat room. I run the strategic day trader, which is for day trading, and the strategic swing trader, which is a newsletter mostly with weekly coaching. Okay. All right. So we talked about the market. We don't really need to look at all of them. The Qs, the SPY, the IWM. They all look alike. The IWM is showing the most relative strength, by the way. And then I wanted to talk about Bitcoin. Here's beta for you. It looks like it's beaten down. It looks like it's lower. Okay, so that's BITO. All right, some bullish ideas. Some bullish ideas for you that are still okay. I dropped my entire watch list for tomorrow in the description of the video. Not just the few that I'm about to go over. Those are the ones that I think are more ready than not. But I dropped my entire list in the description if you would like to get it. Long on the ADGI, but only if it takes out the prior high. Okay, stop can be as tight as over here. So what's the prior high? You'd have to check. 490. What's the low here? Well, it looks like it's about 455 or so, 454. So it's about a 40-cent stop. Call it 40 cents. It's slightly less. It's 35. But looks good. What's the target? The next resistance area. Looks like it's about $7. CABA is another transition A on the daily and an hourly breakout. So over 210 or so, stop right here. Okay, it looks good. It looks better than the first one. More ready because it's above the 20 on the hourly and the daily as well. So it looks a little more ready. The FINV is a China stock. I'm bullish on the China stocks. I have a couple, but the problem with the China stocks is the entire market is now turning bearish. That's the problem with the China stocks. But I have BEKE. Let me get rid of Bitcoin chart so I can see where my, it disappeared. My level 2 window. I have BEKE, which is, I've had it for a while from this day. Okay. And I have VIPs. And I have YSG. Do I have anything else? So three China stocks. VIPs gapped came in on Friday, and then YSG is just triggered the weekly buy setup. The problem is again the timing. These look good, but the timing with the market is not ideal. FINV looks beautiful if it can take out 490 or so. Okay, the red bar, and then since it's a long-term play, I would give it the room to here. Okay, give it a lot of room because it would be a long-term play. FINV, FXLV had a mega gap down a couple months or a month ago or so, and then it bottomed on the gap down. When a stock is down a lot and finally gaps down 40, 50, 60%, as you can see here, it got from about $4 or so, maybe $3.50 to, was at the low was 79 cents. That's the bottom. And it was also in a long-term downtrend. So that's the bottom. I like it. I got in it once or twice and then got out. And then now it still looks higher over the base, stop below it. We had a similar idea, just let's see, hold on. Let's check ASRT. I think that might be it. Nah, that's not it. Hold on one sec. I don't remember where it is. I have a notebook where I keep all my gaps, but I'm not sure. Okay, ignore. I was just going to show you a similar idea to the FINV, to the FXLV that really worked just a couple days ago, but I don't want to waste your time. So this looks higher. GERN. GERN should have played it that day, or the day before actually, right here when it broke out. Didn't do it. Popped really hard. It still is bullish. So over the highs right here, actually just over this bar's high, over 246, stop under 206. So it's about a 40-cent stop on the GERN. Looks good, really all out bullish. HPK is oil, so it should be a little bit detached, or you know, is on its own page, separate from the rest of the market. It's got a 1, 2, 3 on oil. So on a HPK over 28.50, stop under 26.60, and target about 35 bucks up here is the next resistance area. So I like it. Pins is not quite ready, but I'm impressed. This has been in a long-term downtrend, finally ended the downtrend, is putting in a very broad rounding bottom, okay, and it's transitioning perhaps. I don't think it's quite ready, but if it does go back up, I would like to play it as a base breakout over the base, stop under the red bar. It looks good. Again, I'm impressed. Here's the monthly for you. It's a double bottom. I'm in Fitch, which looks exactly the same. See it? I'm in the stock FTCH. I bought it as an earnings play the day before they report it, which means on Thursday, and then it popped 20%. At the high was probably 30%. So the same here on the pins in terms of at least the monthly chart. In fact, the pins daily looks even better, in my opinion. Looks better than the Fitch. So that, and the monthly looks just as good. So I like it a lot, but I don't think it's ready for tomorrow, for Monday, or you know, maybe it's gonna need a couple days. I like the SAVA. I feel like maybe we missed out on the entry. Should have been right here, but over the red bars high is also okay. MOMO looks similar, is another China stock that I like, but it's one of the weakest ones. That's why I'm not going with it. But MOMO is grinding up on the hourly chart, looks similar to the SAVA, probably higher to $7. But again, I already have 3, so I'm not in a hurry to load up on the longs. I like the shorts more, simply because of the way the market looks. So let's take a look at the short ideas. We have APP is a base breakdown on the hourly chart, and also if you look at the weekly, it's a 1, 2, 3. So short under 25.40, stop over 27.22, and then go on vacation. I mean, it doesn't have any targets, so just manage it. Looks really good. BHC looks really good on the weekly, looks decent on the daily. Under the base short, I'd give it to the pivot just to make sure you don't get shaken out. That's what I would do. So under 515, I think. Stop maybe over 664, 666, I think. 666 is the highest point I checked. Okay. And then CORZ is a daily, trying to break down, but look at the weekly. It's a weekly sell setup plus a 1, 2, 3. They don't come any better than this. The only problem with the CORZ, so short, stop. The only problem is the reward to risk is pretty low, unless you know you're expected to take out the lows. And given how bearish the stock is and how strong of a downtrend we have, I think it probably will. I think it'll make new all-time low. HUT is similar. I don't even need to go to back to the daily chart. HUT is similar to the CORZ. It's a weekly sell setup plus a 1, 2, 3. So short under $2, stop over 230. Another one that's similar should be the Riot, another Bitcoin stock. Short under this really small bar, 677, stop over 760. Pretty good. Target the prior lows. Do you remember when Riot was a 70, 80 maybe, $80 stock? $79.50. Can you believe it? It initially was a penny stock, I think. Yeah, 50 cents. See it? It went to $80 in just a few months. And then back to 6 and looks lower to probably $1 or so. Okay, eventually. So that's the Riot. We skipped a few here. ORC, we got to go back to the daily. ORC has a daily sell setup. So short under 284. That's 85. So under it. Stop would be over 294. It's only a 10-cent stop. Or 11. And then target the prior low right here. 250. Pretty nice, good reward to risk on the ORC. Excuse me. OUST is the daily base breakdown. The 20 is a bit flat. Otherwise, love the weakness on the OUST. Just the 20 is a little bit flat. but looks good. Lower. Path is a base breakdown. It looks nice. Let's check on the weekly. Weekly is even nicer because we have a strong downtrend. The stock based for a while, maybe tried to break the downtrend and failing. Looks lower, just under 1680. Stop over 1809. And then PRPL, you can see how weak it is by looking at the weekly chart. Let's go back to the daily just to make sure it looks good. Looks good to me. Flat 20, would have liked it to be declining. That looks good. Under the base, stop above it. Okay? Riot we talked about, and Twilio. Base breakdown. So under the base, stop above it. I one time saw a license plate, a California license plate, with the license plate was Twilio. Spelled out the TWILIO, the whole thing. I bet, you know, those people are not very happy right now. So it was a $24 stock just a few years ago, right? It went to $450. That's a $2,000 run up, 2,000% run up, and back to $70. It's at support, but it doesn't mean it can't break support. It's at support, might come all the way back down. I mean, an amazing bubble that bursted, that's right now being deflated. It's incredible. I've almost never seen anything like it. You know, the big names are also really bearish. The most bearish one is Nvidia, which, you know, I shorted it on Thursday as an earnings play. It gapped down and then promptly popped up because I really liked it. I kept it past the first 5-minute bar. So what I do with the earnings plays is I exit if it takes off the first 5-minute bars high. So over here, I would have exited, but I kept it because I really liked it as a swing on off the weekly, especially that weekly sell setup. It kept running and then it took out the base, which stopped me out. And then Friday, 9.5% down. Looks really good. So now what am I gonna watch it for? A 1, 2, 3. So tomorrow I wouldn't short it, but if we get a doji bar, then the day after. And the same with a lot of other names like Amazon. Tesla I don't think is good, but Amazon, Apple I don't think is good. Let's take a look at Google. I'm just gonna look at the biggest names here. So Microsoft, did I have Microsoft? No. So those are the biggest names. So let's take a look. Nvidia is number 1. Amazon also 1, 2, 3 would be good, but I'm not expecting Amazon to get back to the lows anytime soon. Maybe it gets down to here, to 115 or so. Tesla also not as good. It's got support, but they will all fall or all rally. And Apple, too much support. Apple is actually a triple top on the monthly chart. On Apple, or double top, you want whatever you want to call it, triple top, double top. So this buy setup is probably gonna end up failing. Google is weak, pretty weak. Google is the second weakest after Nvidia. From the top 7 companies or so in the US, they're all tech. Google is probably number 2 in terms of weakness. Microsoft number 3, probably in terms of weakness. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have, don't forget to hit the like button. Please be sure to also subscribe to our channel if you're on YouTube, and I wish you all the best with your trading next week. I'm Sami Abou Saad from T3 Live. Good trading, everybody. Take care.